Slavery hasn't gone anywhere. It's just that now the slave has to look for work and food on their own.
There's a parable about this. It's told by Jesus Christ himself. I even think you've heard it, but I'll briefly explain the meaning. So there was a rich man who had land, servants, and 2 sons. And the younger one said, "Give me my share of the inheritance. I want to be independent. I want to leave and live on my own." The father was upset, but he gave it to him. He was free. This son went off to a far, far away country, no communication with his father, and as long as he had money, life was fun. Then the money ran out, and then a famine began. And to keep from starving to death, he got a job taking care of pigs. But he was still starving, because even the food given to the pigs wasn't given to him. And he started thinking that it was time to go back. He returns and see that his father is waiting for him on the road, runs to meet him, hugs him, gives him a ring, fine clothes, and throws a feast. The meaning of this parable, there are several layers to it, but here is one of them. This is exactly the answer to your question. The man, this father, is a symbol of God, and the son is a symbol of man. He has freedom. A man can remain with the father, or he can leave him. In that place, roughly speaking, there is no fellowship with God. So humanity goes with flags, carrying banners saying, "Leave us alone, we can handle things ourselves," and so on.
There are a few more situations we could discuss.
Let's come back to that, but I liked what you said earlier. I wanted to say something about slaves.
Slaves. All right?
Look, this son thought that life without God was freedom, but when he chased after that freedom, he ended up becoming a slave to the pigs. A slave to the pigs. He works for them and envies them because they have more food in their trough. This is the state of a man. You said it correctly. In this sense, I agree. He is a slave. The system turns him into a slave. But if he returns to his father, to God, he is free. He can leave him again. His father doesn't hold him back. And besides, in this place, you see, he is not a slave. He is a member of the master's family, that is, of the royal family.
Just imagine this theory, it's a theory for the poor. Well, like there are people who never even, there are people without financial problems, and there are those to whom we said, listen, wanting money is greed. That's a sin. If you don't want money, go to Krishna, and so on. Excuse me.
Do you work? If yes, then are you in the system?
Am I in the system, you mean in this world?
Well, yes.
It all depends on what your focus is and on what is most important to you. Returning to God does not mean I have to go to a monastery at all. Even Jesus Christ said, "I'm not telling you to leave. You should remain among people." But this is the state, the kingdom of God, where He is the master. It has no borders, so there's no need to fight for them. But in reality, there is His control, His loving care, His constant presence, His guidance, His provision, and His protection. All of this is present, but this doesn't mean I have to give up everything and stop working. Not at all.
I understand what you're talking about God's presence in life and so on. But in that parable, there was also a brother.
Yes, that's wonderful. I'm saying that parable has many levels.
Mentioned several in that parable, yes.
Yes, very much so. The story with the brother is also very interesting because those who are with God often serve and end up turning themselves into slaves as well. About the brother,
Let's discuss that.
well, do you remember that conversation with the older son?
Remind me, please.
The older son comes in and asks servant, "What's this celebration about?" Servant says that his brother come back. And then this older brother has conversation with the father. He says him, "I've worked for you for so long, and you never even gave me a calf to celebrate with my friends." The father says, "You've misunderstood everything. Everything that is mine is yours." And he kind of reproaches the older son and says that you should be happy that your brother was dead and now he is alive. That is, the state of a man who has left God is death. The state of someone who has returned his life. The father kind of hints that you should have been meeting with your friends, you should have been giving away my riches, because giving away God's riches is actually the most important thing in his kingdom. Why is giving away riches the most important thing? Because if we're talking about material wealth, say, I have, for example, 2 apples, I give one away. I had 2, now I have 1 left. That's material wealth. But God's riches are love, light, righteousness. For example, tonight my brother shared a word with me, and that word multiplied. It was his at first, and now I have it too.
Let's say, for example, we take someone like Hitler, right? A man who destroyed so many lives, like a colossal number.
People like Chikatilo, those kinds of.
Well, yeah.
So does that mean this whole world order was invented by God?
Well, that's why I told that parable of Jesus. This order was not created by God. This world was created by free man. By a man who walks away from God carrying banners that say, "Leave me alone." Well, how can
Can I draw an analogy here? It's like when, say, a man fathers a child and then goes, whatever, let him live, however it turns out, God be with him. And the child just lives however he can.
This is all part of this world.
But the father could have led him by the hand.
Of course, he could have led him by the hand. That was the plan. But when a man leaves, everything starts to degrade. Morality gradually degrades. DNA also slowly degrades. Everything. Relationships degrade. The family degrades. Everything eventually degrades.
I just tried to suggest that all these explanations, that it's about love, or this parable, it's basically just a story for the poor, so that slaves could somehow be given an explanation for their lives.
I actually have to disagree with that. I disagree with that statement because, as I have mentioned before, this world bends us, shapes us, and turns us into slaves. But when we return to the Lord truly and wholeheartedly, no one can ever enslave me. And again, no one.
Alright, I get it now.